Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and if this is your first time stumbling across one of my videos, I usually focus on fashion, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, fragrances, and pretty much whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that seems like something that you may be interested in, go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, of course. Also, if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and click on that notification bell so that you do not miss an upload from me. Okay, y'all, so I am back to give you guys what you've been asking for. I promise you, the last couple of videos, everybody has been asking me to do a makeup tutorial, okay? She's not a makeup artist, but I do what I can to get the looks, you know what I mean? So today I'm going to be walking you guys through how I achieved this makeup look, and I will be using some new products that I mentioned in my Sephora recommendations video for the savings event, and you'll be able to see how they apply, how they look on me, colors, all the things. And this is the look we're going for today. I feel like a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do a makeup tutorial because of this eyeshadow look, and I have to admit it is absolutely gorgeous, but it's so easy, y'all. The glitter does all the work for you, and it is easy to apply. And guess what? It's using the Spice palette from Anastasia that I told y'all to get during the savings event, so I hope you did, okay? Because it's really just all about this middle color right here. The duochrome on this thing is amazing. So of course, I'm gonna walk you guys through how I achieved this look, and this is going to be especially helpful for those if you have hooded lids like myself, because as you can see my full eye look. It's all about the tricks of the trade, girls. So if you're interested, then stick around. Okay, y'all, jump scare, okay? As you can see, I have my little heatless rollers in. I'll link these down below. These were a lifesaver when I was in New York. I love these, but I just kind of have them haphazardly in there because I am gonna curl my hair today. But I've already prepped my skin, so I've cleansed, and then I also have on my clearance serum that I talk about all the time, and then I also have on some sunscreen as well. So now we're gonna go in with primer, and today we are going to be using the Danessa Myricks primer. This is what I've been using. This is the universal one. I do like the primer. I'm trying to figure out what I feel like it's doing, but I do like it, okay? So it is a nice, it creates a nice base. So I'm just gonna rub that in. And it's definitely a balmy texture like it says. So it's not like the Secure the Blur that I'm used to using where it's a little bit more water based. So yeah, this is definitely a little bit thicker, but I don't feel like it's like clogging my pores or anything. Okay, so I'm gonna let that settle in for about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and get started with the foundation. Okay, actually before we start with the foundation, I am gonna go in and just clean up my brows. Since I don't fill my brows in, I want to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer just to clean them up. It's pretty much my skin tone. And while I'm at it, I think I am gonna kind of cover up my blemishes. This is a really good concealer. I got this from the Cosmetic Company store, and I love it. I really need to clear up my dark spots. One thing about it, when my skin is doing well, like, you know, obviously it gives it time to like recover from the dark spots because I scar so easily, but any little bump or blemish, it causes a dark spot. So it's almost like I'm just constantly trying, you know what I mean? It can get annoying, but you know, life could be worse. Let's go ahead and clean up underneath. And I'm looking in my mirror over here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this Morphe brush. This is the M173, and I'm just gonna blend out the concealer on my face. I don't really need to do this, but it does help with not using so much foundation. But I'm just gonna be honest, I don't usually care to like cover every suit, you know, every last imperfection. I feel like I wear a medium to full coverage foundation, so it does the work for me, but this is just like that extra step. Like if you're gonna be taking photos or being on camera all day, you know, it definitely helps. And I just came back from New York, so I feel like I haven't gotten my bearings back yet. Everything is still kind of like half packed and half out. So it's taking me a little minute today. But I'm gonna go in with just this random e.l.f. brush and blend out the concealer under my eyes. well, under my brow. I feel like I kind of cut my brow off a little bit, so I may have to fill that in a little. So brows are done and the primer has set a little bit. Now we're gonna go in with the new foundation that I've been using, and I'm loving it, you guys. It's from Lawless. And I spoke about these in my Sephora recommendations. I had just started using them probably like a week and a half to 2 weeks, and I've been loving these. So this is what they look like. Right now I am mixing 2 different shades. So first I'm gonna go in with 26D. You do wanna shake these really well because if you let them sit for a while, you can see where it kind of separates. So this is a little dark for me, but I like to use it just to balance it out. I feel like this is a good shade for me, but depending on how much makeup I put on, it can give me a little bit of a yellowy kind of cast. So you can see that's pretty much my skin tone, but I like mixing in just a little bit of the darker. And you don't need much of this. I did pick up a new makeup brush, which is the Mario makeup brush, but I don't want to use that. I've been using the Lawless brush that comes with the foundation. Well, it doesn't come with it, but you know, it's a part of the line. So I'm just going to continue to use that today. And I start blending the darker one out towards the edge, and you can kind of see it's dark. And then I like to bring that around just the perimeter of my face. And then I go in and start blending the lighter shade all over. So whatever I have on the brush is kind of mixing in. And to me, it just makes like me feel better. This foundation is so lightweight, y'all. This is actually called the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. I'm obsessed. This dries down pretty matte in my opinion as well. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. And of course it's gonna dry down. You guys will see throughout the process. I feel like this dries down really well. So next we're gonna go in with Espresso from Fenty to contour. And I've been using this for years. I love it. And I only like to use that to contour the cheeks, but I'm gonna go in with the new Too Faced Melting Bronzing Sculpting Stick, and I'm gonna go around the perimeter. You can see this is a lot lighter. And I really do think that this is good for beginners who want to get into cream products because this melts away so easily. You don't have to like be afraid, you know what I mean? I have a darker one as well that I kind of like to put on the forehead, but I can't find it right now, so we're gonna go with this. I'm also going to go in and contour my nose, and this is gonna look kind of scary because it looks dark, but I'm telling you, it blends so easy. And careful around the nose, y'all, because this thing smells just like chocolate. It's kind of weird. But let's go ahead and blend out the cheeks. Anything I forget to mention, I'll definitely have it linked down below. From my last video, I'm realizing that it's a little difficult for you guys to find the links because so many people watch on mobile. Y'all know I'm old. I like to watch on on my computer. But if you are watching on mobile, under the video, you need to click on show more, and that's going to show you all of the links. Sometimes if I don't forget, I will pin a comment with all the links, but it really depends on how busy the day is and if I remember, but I will do my best to do that this time as well. One thing about makeup, you got to trust the process, okay? It can look scary, but it all comes together in the end. Promise. I'm still trying to figure out if I love the Too Faced because I feel like it melts so much into the skin that, I don't know, it kind of can be all over the place. But again, if you're not used to using a cream, this blends out easy. Okay, so this is what the face is looking like. I know it looks a little bit scary, but don't worry. Now I'm gonna go in with my blush. This is the Danessa Myricks in Prima Donna. Love this. I've been using this and it's just so pretty. I love it. You can see how pigmented that is. I also mentioned this one in my Sephora recommendations because you can put this on top of powder and on top of liquid and it doesn't disturb the product. So I love that. Very user friendly. And you can bring this under the eye if you want to because we are gonna still go in with concealer, obviously. So again, it's definitely a trust the process moment. It's like painting a canvas. It comes together all in the end. So I want to use my Pat McGrath a little bit And I blend this one out right away. Now I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer. This is the Hourglass concealer, and I did get my hands on the new shade, which is in Valley 8.25. I usually use Maple, which is 8.5, I believe. This is just a hair darker. I like this one for brightening. And I love the fact that it has that yellow undertone. So it acts as a color corrector as well. Now I'm gonna let this sit under the eye for a little minute while I blend out the concealer in the high points. I'm gonna go in with the Magic Hydrator Mist. I do like to use this in between because I am going to be going for more of a matte look. So I still want my skin to be hydrated, if that makes sense. So just a little. And then we're gonna blend out the concealer. Should we zoom y'all in a little? Let's do that. Remember, this is just me doing my makeup with y'all, not really a tutorial, okay? Because I just do what works for me. And if you can get a tip or two from that, then I've done my job. But the most important thing about makeup is that you have to find what works for you and how you want to look and your face. And we all have different faces. So okay, so we have the concealer blended out, and I usually go in with my Charlotte Tilbury in number 3. I have my number 2, but I don't know where it is, and I've been wanting to go for a little bit more of a brighter under eye, so I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible. This is in the shade 245 Radiant Honey, and I'm just gonna press that, and you can see how that brightens it up. You always need to go in with the pressed powder, y'all. Like, to me, it just makes a world of a difference. Now I'm gonna go in with Sweet Honey from One Size, and this is my loose powder because we're gonna bake a little bit. I'm just gonna take this, put it on the back of my hand, swipe it under the eye, down the bridge, forehead, chin. And because I don't like that white cast, I'm gonna immediately wipe away the baking powder from my chin and my face, but leave it under the eye. Like that. So now we can focus on the eyes because we're going to come back to the face, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Spice palette. You guys have been asking me so much about my eye look in the last few videos, and it's been this palette alone, y'all. I traveled with this and it was amazing. So that's why we're going to be using this only today. And let me just tell you something. It is a really good palette. I'm going to show you the colors. Gorgeous. All you need. And it may look boring and brown, but trust me, okay? The duochrome on these like glittery shadows are gorgeous, y'all. So good. So I'm gonna start in my crease with a little bit of a brown. That's my skin tone. This is Texture by MAC. You can use the one in the palette, but I'm a creature of habit, so. Next, I'm going to do a wash of color with this like reddish brown. It has a little bit of glitter, but it really doesn't show up too much. Still with the same fluffy brush, because I don't want it too defined. I just want to add or deposit a little bit of a warm color. This is the easiest, most impactful eye look ever, y'all. Trust me. Okay, so that is what the crease is looking like. Very, very, very simple. Now I'm gonna go in with my MAC 219 brush, super old, and I'm gonna go in with this middle shade here. This is the one that has had you guys talking and asking all the questions. It looks just like a shimmery, kind of like white, beigey color, but watch when I put this on. Do you see that duo green, like that duochrome? It's sick. Because I have hooded lids, I like to put this in the inner corner and come halfway. Okay, so as you can see, it's above the crease. It's on the crease. Well, it's on the lid, on the crease, and a little bit above. So I just hold the brush like this and do that. This is a technique that I learned years ago for hooded lid. I'm gonna do the same to this side. Somebody tell me the science behind your nose running while you're doing your makeup, because when me and my mom were in New York, we were both in the bathroom sniffing the whole time we were doing our makeup. Is it the chemicals? So now I'm gonna go in with more of a dense angle brush, and I'm gonna go in with this dark brown. So I'm gonna kind of pack that on and just make that V. Bringing it out and up into the crease. You see that? And we're gonna connect everything, but I just wanna get the shape. Now I'm gonna take a fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe 504, and I'm gonna go back into that reddish brown that was in the palette and just kind of blend these two together very lightly. And then I wanna just take the brush that I use for the glitter, nothing's on it, and just kind of bring it a little bit more over so it kind of like just disperses. So it doesn't look like just two separate, you know, sides. Okay, y'all, so that's pretty much it on the eyes. You can see how the glitter kind of disperses over, but it's concentrated in the inner corner. Once we put our eyeliner and everything on, you're gonna see how this comes together, okay? I'm gonna go in with my tried and true NYX Epic Ink Liner. I love this. And depending on how large your lid space is, you don't wanna use too much black liner because it'll cover it all up. You know what I mean? Even though you'll still see it here. I try to keep the line kind of thin on the eye, and then I'll bring it a little thicker out with my wing. So the wings are a little bit crooked, but we move, child, okay? I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay and line my waterline. Okay, now let's get into the fun part. We're gonna dust away the powder. This is where everything is gonna start making sense. Okay, now we're gonna go in and set all of the cream products that we applied. So I'm gonna go in with my Haus Labs bronzer. And I like to just focus that right there because this is quite dark. And I either go in with my Armani bronzer or my MAC bronzer. Today, I think I'm gonna use this one and my MAC brush and just go around the perimeter. See how it's just warming up the face. I'm also gonna set my blush, and I think I wanna use the Juvia's Place Orange. I haven't used this one in a minute, so let's see. I think I want pink. Let's do pink, because I ain't like that one. Let's go in with Volume 5. So we mixed. And you can go kind of crazy on the blush because we're gonna blend. You see how chaotic this is? I told you, y'all didn't want no tutorial from me because this is what I do every day. I just like put it together. And now I'm gonna go in with my huge brush. This is from Sephora. And I'm gonna go in with the Fenty face powder. Love this. And bring it all together. You do need a huge brush for this because you are depositing a little bit of pigment, but you're doing it to blend everything. So you don't want anything that's like too dense where it's gonna give you too much pigment. Also on my brows, I like to go in with the Builder Brow Gel. Just kind of bring the brows back to life. Now at this point, you can do your setting. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit more life from the powder, go ahead and do that. Or you can go in and do your finishing spray. I am gonna use this last little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury. And then I'm gonna go in with my finishing spray before I do my mascara. This is the one size. Get ready. Woo! Now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my mascara on top and bottom. And once everything kind of settles, I'll assess if I need to kind of brighten under the eye, add a little bit more blush, you know, whatever have you. So I'm gonna go in with the Paradise Big Deal L'Oreal mascara. I like the Panorama better, but this one's similar. And if you want to, you can go back in and revive your moles. I just revived my one. I don't want all my moles showing because it's just too much. And then I like to take just a plain puff and go over the face, and it just gives that super smooth look. It also sets the setting spray. Kind of like presses it into your skin. Okay, y'all, so that is the finished look. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my lashes. Today I'm gonna be wearing the Lash Couture chiffon lashes. I think they're in my bathroom. I'm gonna put the lashes on, do my hair, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do the lip together. Okay, so I'm back. It's amazing to me how dark this hair looks on camera because it is definitely like a soft 1B. But anyway, we're gonna go in with the lip. I'm gonna be using the Sephora Collection Molasses Lip Liner. You guys know this is a cult favorite. So let's go ahead and apply. Okay, so now that we have that on, I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Cream Lip Stain. This is in Soft Mocha. And you don't need much, obviously, because it's like a liquid lipstick. You can also use a liner to kind of blend these two together if you feel like you need to, but I'm gonna go in with gloss and I think it looks fine. Now, when I did my Sephora video, a lot of you guys were like, oh my gosh, you didn't tell us the lip gloss. Well, that was a sponsored video and they had me cut out a lot of different things, y'all, okay? Don't ask me why, but we have to abide by the rules. So this is Decadent Peach from Estee Lauder. It could have been because it was limited edition as well. So I'm gonna put that on top. Oh, look how pretty. And it smells like candy. Oh, I love it. That's what that looks like. And this is the finished look. Now, of course, it looks a little bit different because my hair is dark instead of the light brown that I was wearing. But this is the look that I've been wearing and you guys have been asking so many questions about it. So I hope this was helpful. Again, this was not a tutorial, okay? I was just kind of taking you through how I do my makeup. It's kind of chaotic, but as you can see, it all comes together in the end, okay? So make sure to check out that description box, y'all. I'll have everything that I use linked down below. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comment section as well. I'll do my best to answer those. And I will talk to y'all on my next one. Bye, y'all.
She comfortable.